Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Okay, Ross, instead of doing what we were going to plan beforehand, we're going to be more easier on you.
Fine.
You can also keep that drink with you.
Really? You really get annoyed when I carry a drink on filming.
I know I'm a little bit of a hard ass on you, Rasa, but I'm going to be a little bit more eased up on you for this year.
Okay. Pension. Okay, BV, what am I working on?
100 of Beavers.
What?
100 of Beavers.
Okay. That is a lot of furries. Hundreds of Beavers is a comedy that was released in 2024, made by Mike Chelsky and Ryan Brixen-Cole-Twos. That's a mouthful. The movie's in the style of 1920s 30s types of movies. Meaning that the movie is in black and white.
Well, Rasa, they do have a moment of speaking in the movie. I'm putting it back to normal.
Can you please keep it with the black and white setting?
Deal.
Thank you. The first 30 minutes of the movie takes place in the 19th century and is focused on Jean Kayak, an apple farmer who uses them to make his famous apple cider. Seriously? It is a comedy. During the autumn harvest, he's drinking with fur trappers, only for two beavers during the festival do their best Monty Python impression.
I'm not dead!
No Python, please!
They bite the two supports and left, and during the drunken revelry, on his stills, he didn't notice that the first container leaves in one direction, but the one he's on travels down and combined with the fireplace, destroys his home, his apple fields, and leaving him with nothing, and a snowstorm just hits him.
He can't catch a break.
Yeah, with the clothes on his back, he's trying to survive the outdoors, with him trying to capture animals to eat. And we see that in this movie, all the animals are either puppets or people in suits, as we see him failing a lot to the point where he is passing out from blood loss just to fish.
You should have tried something else.
BV!
What? I was going to say his toes.
Oh, never mind. Throughout the movie, from time to time, we see beavers cutting down trees and tearing them off for some unknown reason.
They're building a dam, you dumbass.
He finally makes it to the first habitable place, which is a merchant shop, run by the merchant and his daughter, who is a fur tanner, and he falls head over heels for her. Too bad that her father sees him as a complete loser.
Well, I can't blame him. He's in his underwear with fish in his pants in the middle of winter.
There's also a running joke that the merchant can't get his tobacco spit into the pail no matter how hard he tries. But by seeing a master fur trapper coming in, raking in the money, and seeing how much the merchant loves the man, Jean learns that he can get all that and the daughter's heart by being a fur trapper. After more comedic trial and error, and meeting a native fur trapper, it gets to the point where he is in his birthday suit, and he finally beats down on an animal. And after giving it to the daughter, she makes him a raccoon suit with a hat as its head.
That is dark.
Baby, this is a dark comedy at times.
Oh, then it's funny. Now we begin the movie with
Him falling into a pit trap.
Oh, that was quick. How do you feel about the movie?
It's not over. He's still alive, and he is found and rescued by the Master Trapper. As he's recovering, he learns from the Master Trapper and his sled dogs about his system. What animals like to eat, what the traps that they fall for, and he has to beware of the night, because each night he loses a sled dog, until we see what it is, and it's a pack of wolves, and it is kind of hard to take this serious when every animal is a guy in a fursuit.
Rosa, have you ever gotten into a fight with a furry?
During the struggle, having the Master and Jean climb up a tree, the wolves are able to grab the Master, and in his last moments, he gives Jean his guide before being dragged into the darkness. This shows how good it is, as we know a lot about the character, and they have never once spoke a word throughout this whole time. Take notes! The next morning, Jean sees the aftermath, with the Master Trapper dead, his last sled dog gone, and the animal corpses that they acquired throughout the time all vanished. He gives them a quick burial and goes back to inform the merchant and her about what happened. And after a quick funeral, we see Jean trying to use the guide and... What kind of language is this?
I get it.
Lucky you.
We see him making a chart and using his trial and errors throughout the time. We also see the Beavers working on their huge project. And while learning more and acquiring animal bodies, behind the scenes we see Shermusk Holmes and his assistant Wampy searching for clues.
I don't get it.
Well, Wabi is the name of a tree, and Sherlock...
Okay, I get it.
He keeps coming back, forming more of a bond with the daughter, until the merchant had enough and tells him that if he wants to marry her, he has to bring in 100 of beavers.
He said it! He said it!
As it is easy to acquire them at a slower pace, he wants to get all the bodies from the wolves, while using his experience of trial and error, and an army of beavers after him for revenge. He managed to defeat the beavers and the wolves using a skunk, an icicle wall, and having them all kill each other.
So he did the mad approach.
Mad?
Mutual assured destruction.
Oh, mad.
He gathers them all up and travels back to the merchant for it to be a trap by the beavers as they stole back the bodies. John travels to the beaver dam fortress and sees the beavers at work from logging to using his old cider barrel, which Jean forced himself not to get drunk, I'll give him credit, only to be found out, and after a massive chase sequence, he is captured and put on trial.
I heard of kangaroo courts, but this is ridiculous.
Well, considering how the trial goes, I think this is technically a kangaroo court. They sentence him to death and to be skinned and used as a human suit, like they did with the Master Trapper.
They dug up and desecrated his corpse?
Well, BB, he's wearing a suit that was from a raccoon, so...
Yeah, I can't find an argument with that.
He managed to break out and fight back while trying to get the pelts back. He sees what the beavers are doing, and that is a space program?
This is taking place in the 19th century.
I was told.
Humans founded the space program in 1961.
Yeah.
Humans are losing to beavers.
BB, with how it is nowadays, we're losing the hamsters. Yeah, too bad the rocket's made out of wood and are using his keg as a fuel container. As they're ready to launch it, Jean accidentally pushes a beaver during the launch, causing the rocket to launch wrong, breaking the dam, and creating Green Bay.
Well, on a positive, at least we know where the location's taking place in.
He makes it to where the beavers are doing a burial for the corpse ball, as he fights them off and runs off with it. And we have another massive chase, to which the beavers climbing on top of each other, making a giant beaver kaiju. BB, what did you do to my drink?
I didn't do anything.
The kaiju in a rampage steps on the native trapper's beloved horse, and he fights back by using a grappling arrow on the rocket and steering it into the kaiju, defeating it?
I didn't do anything to your drink.
He made it back to the merchant, and with it raining beavers and with the pelt ball, he meets a quota, one the father's favorite, and gets to marry the girl.
And that was 100 of Beavers. That was a great comedy!
I did my best try not to explain the jokes, as they use some of my favorite jokes with, as I did mention a lot of trial and error, that's basically because they did jokes of that over and over again. One of my favorite jokes that I'm going to talk about is that they do the life of a rabbit, and that joke ends on a dark note, which I still laughed at. And another one was during the trial when they start showing the evidence of what Jean did. I say this shows that there is humor that doesn't need to be dated, but there is some gross out humor, so you may be careful what you eat if you're going to watch it sometimes. But like I said, this is a great comedy. I enjoyed watching it, and anyone who enjoys this style should look at it. If you want to currently watch it, I found it on YouTube.
And like with most hunters, always finish off your prey before it finishes you off. That was actually something good. I wonder what I'm going to be doing next. Okay, Beefy, I'm wondering what the next video you would talk
Yes, I did drug him. I have to remove any venom that's inside him before he has to work on the next project, because he's going to be producing a lot of it. So, till then, hope you enjoy the video.